Hey VC, Uncle Roddus here again. And look what arrived in my mailbox today. Super excited to have this Sun Ra Discipline 27.2. This is a reissue of the original, is it 1973 Saturn Research release? 1973? Yeah. This is Strut and Art Yard have combined together to do this. I actually picked this up off the Bandcamp, or off the Sun Ra Bandcamp, and came from Europe. But this was, I have a huge collection of Sun Ra on CD. A lot of the vinyl is not available. It's very hard to get, very rare, and especially the satin stuff, and a lot of the old originals were only released in very limited numbers. This one's actually been unavailable on CD. I don't think it was ever reissued on CD, and so I believe this is the first reissue. So really pleased to have that. And I do remember trying to find it. There's a couple of others Sun Ra albums that really couldn't find on CD either when I was looking to. So I've still got a few holes in my collection. So yeah, that's playing in the background there. Yesterday we had a wonderful day in town. There was a record fair over in Littleton at a little cafe shop. Just a minute, I need to put some wood on my fire before it goes out. Not very prepared, am I? Chuck a few logs on there. Just lighting the fire. Got home from work. First day of the week. Right, I'm back again. And I'm hopeless at editing. I don't even know how to, so you'll have to put up with that. So yeah, a record fair in Littleton. So we shot over there first thing in the morning. Had a cup of coffee at the shop. Actually ran into Delaney Davidson. He was sitting in the shop. Had a chat to him. He's a person who I've shown several records of. Singer-songwriter from Littleton. Kind of does a grungy, bluesy, Americana type, really cool music. Yeah, really cool. So I had a chat to him, and then I had a look through the record boxes, and yeah, did really well. Well spent, way more than I was intending to, but there was just so much cool stuff there I couldn't say no to. So let's hoe into it in no particular order. First one is an ECM. I really rap to have. Bernie Maupin from 1973, is it? Somewhere. Anyway, this is ECM 1043. I actually have the CD of this, and to be honest, when I first listened to it, I've had the CD for quite a while, I kind of struggled with the music a wee bit, but since I've been exposed to a lot more of this sort of jazz through the ECM record collecting, I had a quick listen to some of it yesterday, and I am pretty impressed. The guy that had the jazz, so this was earlier, one seller had the jazz stuff there, also picked up from him this Toshiko Akiyoshi and Marino, what's his name, Charlie Marino, who was her husband at the time. This is from 1961. It's a quartet, the Toshiko Marino Mariano, yeah, quartet. And yeah, this is quite cool. I've had listened to it. It's a little bit noisy, but it is old. I mean, 1961. This is an original copy out of the States, and if I'm pretty sure if I got the right copy, and I'm pretty sure I have, this has never been sold on Discogs. Although I'm saying that there's about 45 copies of reissues and CDs on sale at the moment. Picked up some really cool New Zealand stuff, and the first one was this one. From one of the other sellers that was there. This is the first album by Headless Chickens from about 1980 or 88, 86, 88. Headless Chickens evolved out of a band called the Children's Hour, who I really liked, and I had their only EP many years ago, and now it's a real collector's item. So really pleased. I mean, look, I've been keeping an eye out for that. After this album, they went more commercial and slightly different direction, and had a woman singer, and they became quite successful, although they still wrote some really good music. This one here I really took a bit of a punt on. It's a Flying Nun release, so that's one of the reasons I brought it. Great big flying nun on the back cover. Bad Energy is the name of the band. Underwater Pyramids. Turns out it's, well, it's not a rap record per se. There's some very mild rapping on it. The woman who sings on it, Coco Muse, something like that. First listen, it's okay, not really my thing, so we'll see how we go with it. One seller had several of these records, of this band's records, some of which I have on CD. This is an original vinyl copy. I used to have a copy of it. Really pleased. It's in really good shape. I mean, I had to glue the sleeve back up, but apart from that, it's actually, cover's very good, plus at least. And haven't played it yet. It's about to get played very soon. So yeah, really cool. Love that. And also picked up this one. This is the bootleg version from Bespoke Discs out of Europe from 1990, so it's not the original, but I did have an original of this once upon a time, so yeah, glad to have that again. He had some other Husker Du there, but you know, funds are limited and there was a lot of other cool stuff. Funny thing was, on the way into the fair, driving into town, I mean, it's a good hour's drive for us at least from here to Littleton. I was thinking to myself, wouldn't it be cool if there were some big star records, or if there are any big star records, I really should look at picking them up. And lo and behold, look at that. Radio City reissue, I think it's from 2009. I got on Discogs. I mean, all of the numbers on this are the original catalogue numbers, so I went via the barcode on the back, and I'm thinking that, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is a 2009 reissue. So, and actually it's apart from a ding in the corner, it's almost near mint. I think it's nearly brand new, and several of these records were brand new. Picked up the second Gun Club album to help my Gun Club collection, so I'm almost back to all of the Gun Club stuff I originally had. I never got around to replacing them on CD. This is Miami, their second album. I've got, and I managed to pick up vinyl copies of their first and third. I think originally I had also a copy of Mother Juno album, which I don't have at the moment. I'm taking a wee bit of a punt on this one too. Now, I had seen this before, Bitch. This is a reissue from last year, or 2015. I'd actually seen this down in Dunedin a while back. I think there's two bands here, Bitch and Cleves. So that's Cleves there, but I think they're kind of the same band, or some of the same people, maybe with one or two changes. But so there's three guys and a woman in that one. It's harder to tell, but it looks the same there. I'm not sure if they're the same people, but Cleves had an album out in the early, or mid-70s, and this is a reissue of that album. And Bitch had some EPs and singles out, but never put out an album. So this is kind of, I guess, compilation of it. Haven't listened to it yet. I picked it up for a pretty good price. I mean, I picked it up for nearly half of what I was seeing it sold for in the shop, and it looks absolutely brand new. So haven't even listened to it, so I don't know what it's going to be like. But no, I'm always keen to add things to my New Zealand collection. And speaking of more New Zealand stuff, Sunken, Emerald Cocoon 2010. This is the second release after the first album, Emerald Cocoon, which is a Metal Road album, whom I showed recently. Metal Road have 4 albums out on Emerald Cocoon. I haven't listened to this yet either, but I suspect it'll be pretty noisy, drony, experimental sort of stuff. And it was on my Discogs want list, to be honest, because when I'd seen it, when I was looking up Emerald Cocoon and Metal Rude from my recent purchases, I came across it, so I stuck it down. More New Zealand stuff. Again, this is practically brand new from what I can tell. Coretta, this is the very first album I've shown. Their third album recently, I picked it up earlier this year, and their second album I've had on CD for a while. All really good instrumental rock, or post-rock as it's called. The album's called Vilea, and it's got a pretty good reputation, so I'm looking forward to hearing that, and if it's as good as any of the others. This is more New Zealand stuff. It took me a few minutes to figure out what this was when I saw it, but it was in the bin with a bunch of other New Zealand stuff, and it turned out that it is Joe Blossom's debut or first album from 2011. I was showing his second album, which I really enjoyed. yeah, nice, well constructed chamber pop, maybe with a, didn't have a touch of Americana to it, not sure. God, I've picked up so many records, it's hard to keep up. Apparently this is, one commentator has mentioned that this is better than his second album, so I'm looking forward to hearing it. I only got all these records yesterday, so I haven't had a chance to play many of them yet, just bits and pieces last night, and then yeah, just as I get home now. Of course, the first thing I put on when I got home is found this and put it on. Now, as I said to you before, I spoke to Delaney Davidson in the cafe while he was having a cup of coffee and we were having a cup of coffee, and this Spooky Boogie Cafe is a tiny wee place, and it has very little limited seating. It has some really cool knickknacks which my wife was very impressed with, and also has a reasonable collection of vinyl, and on the wall was a couple of Delaney Davidson albums, one of which I already had. There were also some Dead Sea records, which I really would like to go back and pick up. And as a matter of fact, I ran into Bruce Russell from Dead Sea in the cafe as well, he'd come along, I guess, to have a look at some of the records there, and so I had a little chat to him. But you know, this is Delaney's very first album, Rough Diamond, from 2007. And on the Stink Magnetic label, who I spoke about recently, having shown some of the Stink Magnetic recent issues or their latest album that they put out. Delaney's great. I love his music. Really good, really good. So this will be fairly raw, I imagine, being on Stink Magnetic and being from him back in the day. So yeah, that was pretty cool to talk to him and meet him. And I've seen him perform once, and I've got 4 or 5 of his records. So I picked up 13 records from the record hall, from the record fair, and spent nearly 3 times the amount I was going to spend. Haha, isn't that typical? But I couldn't say no. Recently I showed, this in a previous video, the Milltones. This is their debut album. Well, as a matter of fact, another reason for us going into town yesterday was to see them in concert, and they played at Blue Smoke in what they call a Sunday sit-down concert. So basically the bar had all their tables and chairs around, and we got to sit down at a table and watch the band, so it wasn't like a really big crowd, but man, they put on a fantastic show. And I mean, the Miltons are a kind of a cross with, well, the first side of that record is kind of like really reminds me of Norah Jones and her Americana stuff that she does with Little Willies or Puss in Boots, yeah. Which I picked up the record recently, and she sounds a bit like Nora when she's singing sometimes, and then she, on the other side she actually can change her voice a bit, and then she starts to sound a bit like Stevie Nicks, and their music is really, really influenced by Fleetwood Mac, and that's been pointed out on some of the things I've read about them. They are really professional, really tight, have written some fantastically good commercial music, but really good quality music. I don't normally listen to it, but that sort of stuff. But I am really impressed with the Miltons, and I was really impressed to see them live, and I was blown away. Most enjoyable. So that's quite a haul. And I wasn't quite expecting that. I only found out about the record fair a couple of days before it happened. But we were already going into town, so that was a bonus because we had a bunch of chores to do as well. So we had a beautiful day in town, Lynn and I, and enjoyed the concert and got to have lunch together and blah blah blah, so that was really cool. So there's a pile, that'll keep me busy until my next lot come in the mail. I've still got some more in the mail to come, and yeah, probably need to really reel it in a bit because I've bought a hell of a lot of records already this year. So alright, that's Rodney again, Uncle Roddus again, see you next time.